Okay, so good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Truth Tribe. I'm Dawn Thompson. And again, thank you guys for being here. I love you all very much. You are perfect exactly where you are in this right now here moment. There's nothing wrong with you, and you are all perfect, and you all know that I love you very much. Now, on this moment of perfection, I want to remind you guys, I'll remind you again at the end, but remind me if you haven't gotten into Thursday night's class, we have a class regarding what we're talking about tonight. So remind me again, if for some reason I start talking to you guys and I forget to tell you about removing boulders to start manifesting miracles. That's what's happening on Thursday. So let's get into this, my friends. Let's get into the details and the gory and the gushy good stuff, because tonight's topic is I didn't sign up for this shit. And once upon a time, yours truly, I was told, when I was young, this whole story came out for me as well. And it comes out with a lot of people. You're a natural born counselor, Dawn. And I was told that a lot when I was younger. I mean, in your younger years, your teens. And I was kind of like, yeah, no thanks. I'll choose something else. Like, I'm not interested in that, right? And it's like, oh, but the universe said, but you did choose this, and you did choose that purpose, and you did choose. And I was like, yeah, no, I did it. So many of you are speaking this same line to me a lot. I didn't ask for this. expletive, right? And so, I personally can kind of come clean with you guys. Like, I never wanted this, honestly, to teach truth, because it seems so obvious to me. So I'm like, why would I go teach this when it's just obvious, right? Until I realized that's why I came to complete this karmic cycle of life. Right. So this has been a huge theme in my life, right? I didn't sign up for this shit, right? I didn't even welcome it. I think, like, I in my mind, right? I think I'm being like super clear to the universe. Like, I never wanted to be the person that I contracted to come here to be. Now, those of you who've done charts with me, your own charts, we've talked about charts. It's on your chart why you came, right? What your purpose, at least one of the big grand reasons why you're here. So being clarity of truth, right? It's not what I wanted. And so why? Because at a young age, I realized that, and this is why I didn't want to, right? I realized that most people don't want the truth. They want sugar. Right? Sugar-coated, watered down truth to avoid their own awakening, their own reality, their own experiences. Right? So who am I? Right? Who am I, this person, right? To come and bring spiritual awakening to the planet. I never wanted to be a spiritual teacher or a guru or a sage, yet it's so comical, right? That every fiber of my being can see all of your light and all of your love and all of your perfection without even trying. Right? But I didn't see myself as being someone who is here to guide others to see truth, because I don't look like those who I would be compared to prior in history. Do you think? Right? The spiritual teachers, the monks, the sages, the deities, the PhD psychologists, the MD psychiatrists, all who their patients come to me, they've all been given these small boxes to work with and to work in. And that just didn't make any sense to me. Right? And then one day, right? One day I woke up and I realized teaching individual truth. Oh, like it's, like you have this light bulb moment, like, oh, that is spiritual, right? And I'm here to validate all of you. So no, you are not crazy. And yes, you are all perfect without whatever that truth is for you. So it's not always, when you look at yourselves from this point forward, and I'm going to use a word always, even though always is kind of extreme, right? It's our comparison programming that blocks us from living our soul's truth, right? I was comparing myself to others. So I was like, well, that's not me, so I'm not going to do that. Like, well, I'm not them, so I must be here for something else, which is what I did and what you do and what we all do. How many of you in your mind can sit back and go, I've said those words, right? I'm sure many of you on this call have done the exact same thing, like, yep, said those words. I'm not like that, so I must not be here for that. Because when I look back on my life, my friends, I almost died 2 times from very life-threatening illnesses that basically had my body shut down. So I could have totally easily given up, right? But my soul came here to do something else, not sit here and be sick and then die. We look at things in such minute, small amounts of time and small amounts of space when we actually have this ability to see our life's blueprint and the things that we are actually talented in. All of us, you're all talented in something, and yet we avoid it. Like the plague, right? And the things that we are easily distracted by, that we're right now, because this is why I'm bringing this up, that we consume ourselves with, only to find out they have nothing but numbing effects on your joy, on your happiness, and it's weaved into our truth. And they're like, this is part of it. This is what you have to do. This is why you're here. And I call bullshit. So the bigger question is why the hell not would I bring you spiritual awakening through simple tools of truth and astrology, right? It's why I no longer hide the truth. I no longer hide the need to remind all of you where astrology has been present through eternity, through Earth's existence. It's teaching us that all things that you seek, religion, spirituality, truth, physical health, right? And so now when we look back in time, and no one goes back to the root of things, and this is what gets me going with everybody. We take everything such face value, but you go back to the root of time. And Pat I'm going to touch on what Pat said last week. Instead of going back in the roots of Mesopotamia, when they only had the sky to map out their life, they would look at constellation, go, okay, it's about what time it is. This is the moon. This is the full moon, right? We now have messages that tap right into our phone in our hands in an instant to give us this information. So why would I hold back sharing with you how simplified this understanding of yourself can be? Of you, right? This is what gets me going, is you have the ability to see your perfectness so quickly and so easily like that, yet most people don't do it. This is the truth that I will explore with all of you until I leave the Earth's plane, period. Because I know why I'm here. And because now, what's fascinating even more so, which is kind of what we brought up last week, is we're officially in the generation of Aquarius tomorrow, okay? And in the next 50 years, you're going to be officially pushing 50 to 70 years-ish in there. You can still feel it already because it's such a short amount of time. We're going to be pushing into the age of Aquarius. That will be for 2,500 years. And last week, we were discussing, Pat had brought up why the fish represents Christianity, right? And so we're leaving, basically, it's like the wobble of the earth, right? And here are the points on the axis. And it's wobbling, and it wobbles enough where it turns. So it's leaving for 2,500 years, being in the age of Pisces, which the symbol is the fish. So people go, why would they steal the fish? Because it represents fishing and the fish. And so my point is that we've been sitting in Pisces, and we're moving into the symbol of the age, the golden age of Aquarius. So as much as you're being scared silly with your screen time, any screen you're all watching, all the digital wizards, they're all bullshit, just so you know, they're all lying to you. I'm here to tell you it's just a show on your newspaper, on your TV, on your phones, to match the level of awakened truth that you're in, or you're willing to be in. Okay. The sky just tells us what to prepare for, and it's up to each of you to use the highest version of that energy to live in it. So let me give you some The reason I bring all this up is because it's like, people go, well, duh, Dawn, that's why you're here. You're always been doing that, right? And I'm like, that's just astrology. That's just the truth. That's what you're here for. Like, I just don't see any other way until it's like, oh, right. My karma sits in the spiritual doctrine, real, higher teaching house. So it's like, oh, weird, right? But you still fight it. So I want to give you guys a big generality of what's coming. Okay. Let me give you prep time so you can imagine you're sitting in Mesopotamia and you look up and this is what you see and you go, oh, so this is what we can plan for. So what are Pluto's? Now that Pluto is turned directions as of tomorrow, so you already feel it, the ship slowed and it stopped and now it's turned around and it's going to start moving forward again in Aquarius. So what are Pluto's plans for all of your future? Okay, that's what everybody wants to know, right? And so I also tell people, okay, like you need to hold back a little bit. Do you really believe that a planet can determine your future? So what does it really mean for Pluto in Aquarius for you and everyone on this planet? Okay, so let's investigate Pluto for a minute. Okay, the first part of Pluto is the ruling planet of Scorpio. Okay, and Pluto goes about 20 to 23 years through each constellation. Okay, so it's left Cancer, 25 years. That was the white picket fence, 30-year generation. That would be your grandparents. I've talked about this before, so I'm going to go through these quick. Then you went from Cancer and you went from, into the age of, or the generation of Leo. It sat there for about 20 years. Baby boomers. Leo's all about more and children and big and grand. Then it went to Virgo. Then it lessened and it was simplified and perfection. And then Pluto went 20 more years after Virgo and it went into Libra, about relationships. Okay, so then after Libra, it went into Pluto into Scorpio, its own sign. After Scorpio, which rules psychology and sex, death, regeneration, the dark, the secrets, all kinds of stuff. Then it went from Scorpio and it went into Sagittarius. Then it went into Capricorn, which is where we've just left. Capricorn is government, rule, order, structure. And it was degrading all the control for these 2,500 years that it's always been in Pisces, and it's breaking everything up, all these generations. And now it's gone into Aquarius. So let's talk about what it's going to mean for the next 24 years for you. Okay, so let's investigate Pluto as far as it is out in the orbit. From the Earth's, its impact is long-term, guys, long-standing. So it represents sex, death, and regeneration. Okay, endings and beginnings and how we interpret sex. It will end what no longer serves humanity and it will regenerate us into an entirely new reality. Okay, so sex, meaning marriage, will look a lot more. I know it's crazy to say this, but like my husband and I, right? The white picket fences, black and white, show up, beaver cleaver, 30, year mortgage, one house, one spot, one this, that's over. Okay. And so all that you've been trying to mend that way, that's the way marriage and relationship should work, is going to get little results. And as it ends that way of relationships, it will end generations prior to us that no longer carry the same impact needed, where it was prevalent. And it's going to regenerate us into this new cycle of life. So these themes need to be deeply understood and how you apply them to your own life. Right. And so let's consider now Pluto's gone into Aquarius. Aquarius is the water bearer. That's the symbol. Okay. It's a woman or a man pouring out a bucket of water. So the water can be very, very important. It's going to be very important with why I bring up love water and DNA water and charging your water and drinking very healthy, detox, clean water. Because it'll be very important in healing and detoxing modalities, all healing modalities, natural source of healing for humanity. It will be ongoing. Watch. Okay. Aquarius is also an air sign. So I know she's pouring out the water, right? But she's not actually a water sign. She's just the symbol of pouring out water. She's actually an air sign. And so she's the symbol of pouring out water, but she's actually pouring out knowledge from her water pot, right? And so from the knowledge of her mind, which is the air passing through her pot. So it's an air sign pouring out knowledge. Oh, we're in the age of knowledge. Look at all the information. We're in the information age. So it also rules truth. So I'm sorry, the things that you thought were true and they're crumbling, you don't like it, you're not going to like a lot of the shit I'm preparing you for. Aquarius is like, ta-da, told ya, and ta-da, oh, you thought you wanted that? No, you can't have it anymore. Oh, you wanted that? You didn't want that, and now you think you want it, but you wanted this. Don't you want this? Oh, that's way better. It's going to do that to you. Okay, so truth is going to trip you up if you're not open to going, oh, what is the actual truth? Astrology, Aquarius rules astrology. It rules space. It rules flying. You're going to see flying cars in your lifetime. See big picture humanity. Okay, the big picture. I know it doesn't look that way now, but that's where we're going. These groups are all coming together. Collective groups. It's also the sign of detachment. So you're going to have less need to prove to others who you are, and you will stand in truth of that space. Okay, and of that light and of that knowledge, because you choose to understand who you are through your astrology blueprint, right? So a simple version of your user's manual is basically what's happening. Now, I can elaborate all of this, right? I could probably go into a whole nother class, but my big question for all of you is to think about this. Like, it's been just really deep in my mind lately, okay? What if we taught children from birth about their blueprint and about their signs and about astrology and about what their karmic life purpose is and why they came onto this earth? Can you imagine? What if we taught them how to move energy and how to understand the power of their mind and their body and their souls from birth? What if we taught them what their purpose was, and to nurture that purpose and to support that purpose and to empower them to create at the highest level of abundance in that purpose? Because guys, this is Pluto in Aquarius. This will happen to every child that is born into the age of Aquarius, into this generation of Aquarius, and all children on the planet right now. They will command it. They will demand it, and they will not negotiate with their parents' emotional bullshit drama, because that's what they do, because that's what they were taught. It's not their fault. Because that their parents are afraid to let go and be free, because we're also programmed. Now, I'm telling you, you could choose to stay programmed. Your kids are not going to accept it. This will eliminate, get ready, this is the cool part. This will eliminate depression and anxiety, because they know their truth and they're not being manipulated by others telling them that there's something that they are not. Because that's the big ticket on the planet right now, telling everybody there's something that they're not, in education, in schooling, in all this crap, telling them you're not this and you're not that and you're this. And they're like, really? I just wanted to go out and play in the sandbox. So get ready, because this group will trip you all up if you're not ready for it. Aquarius is also a fixed sign, as much as it is sunbursts of change and knowledge and giving you a ton at once and going, whoa, and it shifts you into a different reality. Okay. It's a fixed sign, which represents stability, strength, right? Safety, security. So you're going to find that the groups that you start gravitating to, they're going to give you more confidence. That's what this Truth Tribe's about. More strength, more safety to have in your life, to be able to lean on people, ask questions. But it's going to require you to leave the alone kind of thought pattern, the dependent, the broken down, the non-communal, the non-tribal environments that have been set up for everyone for so long. I mean, you can see how long this has been going on. Separating people, the duality, the Pluto death energy is happening from separation and duality, and it's regenerating us into Aquarian connection and community. Now, I want you all to think through these symbols that I just laid out for you. Water, air, are you breathing? Deep breath, right? Are you breathing? Knowledge, space, astrology, detachment, freedom, truth, blueprints, karma, community, tribal, support. Can you imagine having support by your community and everybody's not, your neighbors aren't assholes? I mean, this is what it's going to look like. Families living together again, but in new ways to keep everyone independent. Okay, my husband's a builder, and we're already talking through different scenarios and situations where communities can come together, families can live together without being on top of each other or feeling they don't have freedom. So communities are going to come together to support each other's strengths, more truth, more honesty. Okay, so guys, the biggest reason you're unhappy right now, any of you, then you're like, God, I'm just not happy. I'm just frustrated. I didn't sign up for this shit, right? That's what people keep telling me. Believe me, I've said it more times than you can imagine. But the biggest reason you're unhappy is because you know the truth about what you want and who you are, but you won't allow yourself to have it or believe you deserve it. Okay, do you hear that? You know the truth about who you are and what you want, but you don't allow yourself to have it or even believe that you deserve it. You are learning now to finally comprehend how to create it without much effort, mind you, right? And I'm asked this often, like, what to pray about, what should my intentions be? It's a new moon, okay, on Saturday or Sunday, I gotta go look at the date, 14th. What mantra, what should I write? What are my intentions? What should I pray? And so I want to ask you to consider this, okay? Write this down, because here's a better question for you to ask yourself during these new moons. What could I give up that would improve my life and everyone in my life around me? And it could be complaining. It could be avoiding. It could be guilting. What does knowledge, learning, new, water, breathing, ending, restarting, or lack of those mean to me? Like, ask yourself, what does that mean to me? Wow, I watch a lot of people, me included, we don't breathe. We breathe up here. Push it into the diaphragm. Breathe. The DMT breathing I've taught you guys. Breathe in for 9, hold it for 9. Breathe out for 9. In, hold, out. Do it 9 times. In and out, in and out, in and out, and breathe. That's how basic this is getting, and we're not doing it because we're learning to go back to our tribal roots we'll go to Mesopotamia way back in time, thousands of years, and start over, but on a quantum level. This is karma, my friends. So what are you avoiding? And what are you doing that's calling you to grow into it and not away from it? That's how you know it's true, right? That's karma, right? So I want you to think of Aquarius energy sees through all the lies, all the deceit, all the bullshit, all the psychological bullshit labeling that everybody's putting labels out there, all the mind warping. So for so long, it's been going on for so long. It's why everybody's having a hard time right now. Like, I didn't sign up for this shit, because you don't know what to look at anymore, because all you can do is look at you because it's all breaking apart. So no one more powerful than an Aquarian energy could do this. Your intake of knowledge up to this point was limited to only the versions that gave you one viewpoint from one mindset in print or in text from educational institutions. That's it. That's really all you got. Now you can access all this clarity in your hands in seconds on a phone, right? So healing, and ending cycles of old trauma that Pluto is causing to die. Looks like, the ignoring, the yelling, the defending, the silencing, the gaslighting, right? People telling you your truth didn't happen, controlling, guilting, shaming, abandoning, self-sacrificing, to name a few. These are ending, because Aquarius is truth. They're like, well, here's a fucking brutal, honest truth. I have to be careful, by the way. I've been allowing these truth tribes to go live on YouTube. So if it doesn't show up on YouTube, just so you know, they wipe it off. So they've been wiping some of these truth tribes off. I've been trying to let them be open there. That's why they're not normally. So if it doesn't go there, go to the podcast and you can listen to it full there. They don't seem to ping me as hard and flag me as hard with my sailor mouth. Okay. So what I want you guys to understand with all of this change happening, when I take 100% ownership of my life, think of you. Say, if I took 100% ownership of my life, you've got to call out your weak spots in your life, whether it's a poor behavior, whether it's poor behavior you accept from others. Some of you on this call have been doing that, accepting poor behavior from others, or whether, they're bringing storms into your life, or you're unknowingly bringing storms to them yourself and you don't even pay attention to it. It's all you. And Aquarius will call that truth out every time, and it's pushing you back here. Okay. So you must step back and observe where you are replicating programs. Repeat this question daily. What could I give up that would improve my life and everyone in my life around me? And my answer is if it's a truth, you'd have to give something else up to be in your truth. And that's you being alive and authentic and brilliant and beautiful and smart. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's get into the planetary update real quick so you guys can understand how it matches what I just brought to you. Okay. I'm prepping you for this. Don't say I didn't warn you. You already see the chaos on the planet going on right now. But the funny part is, watch in the chaos. This is your homework. They're all, everywhere there's chaos. I mean, droves of people are coming together to say, no, not going to happen anymore. Watch. Okay. So planetary update, Pluto retrograde ends tomorrow. So really it ended in this week because it just slowed down so much. So here's the thing. We're having a new moon on the 14th. Somebody ping me on this. I think the 14th is, Saturday? Am I wrong? Saturday or Sunday? Okay. So Saturday, thank you. So this Pluto going forward again, forward motion, is in a square. So think of a square, a right triangle, a right angle right here, okay? And this Pluto is locked right now in this pressure, and it's locked with this new moon in Libra that I'm going to talk to you about. And so it's going to start moving forward again and spreading out that angle, but right now it's locked. So anybody who has any of these signs that are cardinal signs, Aries, Libra, Capricorn, or Cancer, if they're your sun, moon, or rising, just know you're going to feel this. I have taken a heavy beating from this, but it's been good because it's been such an awakening for me. So if you have, you're going to feel them anyway, but if you have them very prominent, you're just going to feel them, especially if they're at 25 through 29 degrees in your chart. If you don't know your chart, you can go get it free on my website. Okay. You can either go to events or tools. Both of them will take you to the free chart. And it'll tell you where those symbols, those signs are in your own personal blueprint. So you're going to feel this planet, Pluto. It's like a ship tanker, and it switched motion. Okay. And it's turning back into Aquarius, as we've discussed. There's no looking back, friends, right? So you're ending now what's no longer important to you, enforcing you. It's going to force you to integrate your new truth into your new values. The collective values are going to change on money, on government, on death. There's a lot of people leaving the planet right now. This is part of it, because Pluto is a sign of death. So you have to learn how to not take it personal, because most of them are transitioning into the next dimension on the astral plane, and they're going actually into angel mode to help us as well. So we have to understand that's what they're doing. Okay. All right. So then let's add to this. The new moon is on Saturday and it's going into Libra, but it is a solar eclipse. Okay. And when we have a new moon, it's when the sun and the moon are sitting on top of each other. Okay. And new moons are always new beginnings. So this is really why you're feeling all of a sudden like a little bit more high energy, feeling a little more enthusiastic about things, because solar eclipses happen when the moon and the sun are sitting on top of each other, and then they're very close to the moon's orbit on the lunar north node and the south node. Okay. And so what happens is it's sitting on the south node, and it's crossing the moon's ecliptic. Okay. I know it's a little petty in all the details, but that's why they're all sitting together. Let's just say they're having a little party in Libra. Okay. Now, with this new moon in Libra, I want you to know what to expect, because this is not gentle stuff, but it's cool and powerful, and you're going to actually feel a lot more freaking better. Okay. It's bringing in new beginnings, unexpected opportunities, probably, as well as going to expedite the inevitable. So if you're putting things off that you have to be honest about and move forward in, it's going to bring it in no matter what. And you're going to find opportunities that you didn't expect. So it's going to usher in new starts and new beginnings. It's also helping us realize that you need to start paying attention to what you need personally in your lives and open yourself up to receive it from the universe, right? That's one thing we're not trusting our spirit guides. I'm talking about that in class on Monday or on Thursday. So they're going to prompt self-discovery and help us uncover what we want in our life. That's what Libra's doing. Okay. It's going to reveal what's been hidden from you. Again, if I had to give something up that I don't want to look at or deal with, that was my question. It's going to bring up what's hidden in your conscious life and ask you, what do you need to know right now that is currently feeling like a boulder in your path? Okay. Right. These are the questions it's going to raise in you. Okay. It's going to also ask you, what does we mean to me? So your partnerships aren't ending like, oh, I'm going to get a divorce. Some of you are, some of you might. Some of you, you're going to change we, because we is much more important to you than it used to be. And you're like, I need to change my ways. So you're going to contemplate the concept of partnerships and the meaning of it in your life. And how do you define the aspect of we, and what are your expectations of we? Remember, it's the I and me axis. Okay. So you're going to ask yourself, what do I truly desire in my partner? Explore your deepest desires. I have this on my website with the tools. Go write down 100 characteristics of your ideal partner. Figure out who they are. Be honest with yourself. What are the characteristics that you seek? What do you love in your partners that you don't tell them about? And then it's going to ask you, am I ready to ask for what I want? Me and we. Are you ready to ask that partner what you want? Because sometimes I watch people, we hold back from expressing our true desires, right? And so it's time for you guys to reflect on whether you're ready to step into your true power of truth and ask for what you want in your partnerships. And I mean business as well. Some of you on this call, I know you're thinking through this and going, in business, am I truly saying what I want and asking for it? Are you prepared to communicate that need to them, whoever them is? Okay. How can I embrace change and the shifts in my consciousness? Because I'm trying to tell you, you're not getting out of it. So maybe open your mind a little bit and realize that most people my age and older are very programmed in the way it used to be. It's a completely different reality. So this new moon, solar eclipse, it's what it is. We're in eclipse season. We just had a full moon eclipse in Aries. We're having a new moon eclipse in Libra. And then at the end of the month, we're going to have another full moon eclipse in Taurus we'll talk about. Okay. This new moon invites you to redefine what partnership means to you, my friends, and to set your intentions for your relationships that you desire them to be. Embrace the shift of consciousness, welcome the new beginnings, and then allow all the hidden aspects of your life to come to light. All the things that you don't want to admit that you've been holding back on. Oh, I've been doing this a ton lately. all the stuff that I don't want to do in my company. And that's why I came to this light and shared my truth with all of you earlier. Is like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to teach you guys this stuff at such a basic level. And I was like, I don't really want to do that. And then I was like, okay, well, fine, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to get to that place and go, if I do it my way, then that sounds cool. But I'm not going to teach it the spiritual woo-woo guru way, because that's not who I am. And hopefully you guys aren't expecting that, because you ain't going to get it. Okay. So does that give you some clarity? Everybody right here, tap in. This is a frequency thing. Remember, this is your thymus. This is your nervous system. This is your immune center. Tap into the nervous system. You can feel it even if it's sore and you rub your thymus. It needs to get woken up. I am courage. Repeat after me. I am love. I am truth. I'm courage. I am love. I am truth. I feel courage. I feel love. I feel truth. I see courage. I see love. I see truth. And more importantly, I know love. I know courage, and I know truth. So your challenge this week, for the next 2 weeks even, I'm going to bring it up next week again. What if I was a child learning about myself today and reparenting my truth of my blueprint in my zodiac? People are like, I just don't know how to read my chart and my zodiac blueprint. Half of you already have access to my course. You could go through it 3 times and watch the basics about who you are and go, oh, like I did. That's why I'm here. That's what I'm supposed to be doing, right? So I'm going to open up Q&A. I want you guys to share with me the boxes that you've all held onto for a long time that are causing you to reassess the relationships that maybe, you know, that are, you're in them with them, that they either do support you or they do not support your best life, right? How many of you can look at that and start seeing that the truth, it's not about them. It's that you've been changing yourself to accommodate them so you can hold back living your best life. It doesn't make them bad. It just means you need to change and shift that truth. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. I've been living my sister's life. Oh my gosh, that's powerful. This is so powerful, and I hope you all are hearing what this person is sharing with us. She has been living her sister's life, and so her truth is she knows in her soul she's not happy. She's not doing what amazing things are capable that are coming out of her, and will continue to, and they'll probably go probably tenfold, only because she's now actually in power instead of spread out so thin and only using a portion of her power. I love this. It was such a good comment. So this one says, let's see, and you guys can ask any questions you want, because this sounds like it. If we knew all this from the planets in the past, why are we still such a mess? This is good. I like that. Okay. This is actually a really good question. We are now, you're all learning what's happening right now, if you're watching, that communities are more powerful than individuals. Okay. And it's now the tech that is helping us to understand what truth is and what it is not. And it's able to be researched, as I shared with you guys, in like minutes instead of months or years, right? So this is the outcome of Aquarius. All right, and I'm telling you, this is the Aquarius age. Another 2,500 years will be in the age of Aquarius. Okay, we're still about 50 years away from truly the impact of the full age, but you're already feeling it because we're too close. So you might as well just call yourself in it. Okay, and so Aquarius energy is sunburst of energy in and sunburst of energy out. Right? And so the new earth, as people want to call it, new energy, the new frequency on the earth, is going to be very quantum in learning, and the growing of who we are and becoming different and more and understanding is going to be exponentially bigger and faster than it was before. Okay, so tech and community like humanitarian collective are giving the power back to the people. And this is what's different, right? We're not as messy as you're being told, because if you watch, you can see that we're all grouping together and going, how do we help each other? How do we help each other have healthier babies, have healthier food, have healthier bodies, have healthier minds, have healthier understanding of who we are? We're coming together and we're sharing it with each other instead of hiding it from each other. That's the difference. And that's the reason I say this, because you had to go to a library and very slow consumption of this knowledge, where now it's quick. That's what's the difference. Okay. And I'm telling you, it's not even as fast as you're getting it now, like this funnel, you're taking it all in. It's like this huge portal. Just understand with this Aquarian energy, it's even going to be quantum. So it's going to be 10 times as fast. And you're going to understand that soon. Does that make sense to that question? Okay. Let's see. This one says, you mentioned marriage would be different. What do you mean? So, guys, what I want you to understand, it's not that you won't be getting married. That's not what I'm trying to tell you. What I'm trying to tell you is that people even right now are like, dating is terrible. Dating's the same it's always been. Everything you're going through is the same it's always been. It's just that you're learning to determine how it's going to be for you instead of giving up yourself and just serving all the time. Okay. So when it comes to marriage, it's not going to be as needy and dependent as it was in the past. Okay. It's going to be more independent and tribal. Okay. So where we're going to start coming together and supporting each other in groups more than this one person in the family, in the tribe, in the group has to take care of everybody, right? We're not going to force each other to fill our needs anymore. We're going to become more conscious of partnering with others who grow with us and not contract us, right? We're going to be more, just as much loyal. Aquarius, remember, is a very fixed, loyal sign. So loyalty and commitment are going to be very strong, but the downside of technology that's going to make it different is that you're going to have to respect technology for it assisting you to have more connection with people, but not replacing your intimate connections with people. And that's my point, is it doesn't matter what point in history you're in. It just matters what parts you're using to help you, i.e. my husband and I constantly in different states, back and forth in our different homes, just doing what we need to do where we are. But we never, ever lack a day with each other, FaceTiming. I mean, we're always together. We're always sharing, and we never negotiate the amount of time we can be apart. We allow that time, and then that's it. That's the limit, no matter what it is. So there'll be new negotiations of ways to in and out energy, to support each other, to come together, to maybe families, to maybe, you know, people who are single moms, maybe start living in larger homes together and helping each other with the kids instead of thinking you have to do it all alone. You don't. We're going to be doing this. There are already homes and communities. I've assisted you guys to see this before. Whether it's senior living communities will change. Everything will change, as well as single marriages. They will change the way you interact, what you will expect of each other, because the commitment will be the same, but it will be more open-minded and loving and respectful of each other, instead of trying to have the other person deal with your drama baggage that you have to deal with on your own in an Aquarian energy. Does that make sense? Yeah, don't take it as like we won't be getting married. Like, I don't mean it like that. I just mean the visual of marriage will not be the same. It will be more tribal, like we're all kind of coming together and supporting each other. Okay. Yeah, does that make sense? Okay, I did that good. All right. Okay, guys. Understand that this new moon on Saturday, make some sticky notes, write your notes, write whatever you need to do for your intention of I and we, me and we, and how do I see me in the we space, because it will change, and it's going to change for the better. It is, I promise. All the things you're seeing are making things better. We have to stop looking at the minutia and start seeing how amazing everything is actually becoming. Okay. So this Thursday, those of you who are not signed up and you want to know you have to start diving deep. I even dive deep into myself. This Thursday is this wake-up call on removing boulders to manifest miracles. Those of you who've already done some of my astrology and boulders and understanding classes, take it again, because you're going to learn your life purpose again, the boulders blocking you from that life purpose, and then your spirit guides who want to help you. I've been harassing my spirit guides like literally for the last 2 weeks, like probably like, again, they're doing the whole shut up, Dawn, we hear you, but it's at 6 o'clock on Thursday night, Pacific. Okay, so those of you, again, register at ideserveitnow.com. And if you just tap on events, it's the first button there in red. Go sign up. It will send you all the login and all the sign-in info. And if you don't have your chart, it'll send you the link to redo your own, so you can print it and have it ready. So share this class with friends who are also struggling right now. It's going to be fun. I'm reserving the right to go off script if I want during the class to kind of get you guys to understand some of this. It's not going to be a long class, but it's going to be enough to give you, it's a validation and healing session, because we have to stop thinking something's wrong with us and start looking at what's right with us, because you're all amazing. Okay. So I want to finish with that. If you guys have any questions, you know how to email me, just do info@ideserveitnow.com. and send me some questions, send me the things that just ponder your brain. And we're going to talk more about what's shifting in from this new moon and the full moon that's coming in, that's going to trip us up again, because we're in, what happens is it just makes all these eclipses happening, they make everything more intense, right? They make it faster and they make it something that you cannot forget. So get ready. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing, and good things are coming. Okay. So I'll see you guys on Monday. You guys have an amazing weekend ahead on this new moon. It's going to be beautiful, and I will see you soon. You guys have a great night. I love you. Brightest blessings.